let's start with JJ. JJ, you the retro king, as we like to call
Oh
you.
yeah,
That
it's
is your actual name. That is
yeah
your title.
yeah. Yeah. If you get my business cards, Dally put retro on it, which it just
Yeah.
says retro. It doesn't say retro games. It just says
So
retro. So it's
retro.
like, yeah, I'm old. So
Yep.
he's
So
the old
you're
guy.
speaking of an old guy, you're
Yeah.
playing some old games.
Yes, I is playing the Toaplan collection, arcade collections, volume 1 and 2. Just
Ooh.
came out last 15th, whenever
Yes.
that was. This is each collection is 8 games. And they are you're not no matter what game you pick, you're not going to be surprised because each and every one of them is a shmup. It just says arcade collection, but they didn't do anything other than shmups. In fact, they did one of the most iconic shmups of all time, not because of the kind of game it is, but for what it created on the
Mm.
internet. Uh, but
Yes.
yeah, so volume 1 is let's see, I've got the list here.
Mhm.
You get Flying Shark, Fire Shark, Tiger Heli, Twin Cobra, Outzone, Fix 8, Batsugun, and I don't know how to pronounce the last one. It looks like Dogiyun.
Okay.
And this, in case you're curious, they're all shmups. Uh,
Mm.
some of them are vertical, some of them are side scrolling. They're all incredibly good. There isn't a stinker amongst the collection. They're
Mm.
all just very solid arcade shoot 'em ups. Uh, they don't really have the downside is that they don't have a lot of like stuff. There's no like archive, there's no history of these games.
Mm.
But I also wouldn't be surprised if there is really no history to these games because this is just an era where it's just like I have an it's this is Space Shmup number 2,
Sure.
and we're just gonna sort of create an aesthetic for it and a threadbare storyline. And there's probably some design docs out there, but they're probably uninteresting because like every game is sort of built off the same concept and platform,
Yeah.
so I don't think there's probably anything particularly interesting in terms of the history of these, except for maybe one game that I'm going to get to in a second.
Mm.
Um, but they have a very important feature, and that's the rewind. So each and every one of them has rewind, which is kind of the only way you're going to beat most of these games in
Yeah.
in any sort of like it's like you'd kind of take away the arcade, you could just keep pumping quarters into these, but sometimes I just don't want to go through the whole process. So if like I just screwed up a little tiny thing, I just rewind for a couple of seconds. It scrubs. If you rewind,
Oh, it's
you
that
don't.
quick. Okay.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's quick. But if you rewind, you can't post your score to the leaderboard because it has online leaderboards.
Hmm.
So the downside is that if you rewind, you don't get to be on the leaderboard. But for a lot of people like me, that doesn't matter. I just kind of want to mindlessly shoot at some aliens or weird organic
Mhm. Mhm.
creatures or inorganic robots or whatever it is. Um, so yeah, like I said, every game in this is solid. Volume,
How can I ask a question?
yes, absolutely.
How's the Fire Shark port?
It's 100% arcade accurate. So if
Because
you like,
I had a professor in college who gave me a Fire Shark cabinet that
Oh,
I
oh
wow.
had for many
wow,
years.
Wow.
wow, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
he
the
was like
exact same game. Yeah,
he did not know what he did not know what game it was. Did not know it was just hey, I have an arcade cabinet in my basement. I'm moving. Do you want it? And I was like, yes. And that
Yeah.
game rules. That game
yeah.
is super
That
cool.
game's no that I think that was the second game I tried out of this
Hmm.
collection. This also has Tiger Heli, which also recently got like an Atari re-release. Like they put out like an Atari modern day 2600 cart because they
Hmm.
never put out a 2600 cart or 7800 or something. Like there's like a modern re-release of Tiger Heli, which is very odd. But Volume 2. Volume 2
Mhm.
has a very important game to internet culture on it. It has Zero Wing.
Yes.
So anyone who doesn't know what Zero Wing is, you absolutely know what Zero Wing
Mhm.
is because it is the one with all your base are belong to us. It's it's like the one of the original internet memes.
Right.
It took the world by storm.
Took
That was
YTMND by storm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, that However, that wasn't in the arcade version. That was for the Mega Drive version, which never came out in the US at the time. That was PAL. That was a Mega Drive port of that game. So the bad translation comes from a non-American European port of an arcade game where they added just this poorly translated opening intro. Someone set us up the bomb. So you go into this, and I didn't know this port that's on this collection came out several years ago, so I didn't know this pre-existed. But they recreated the opening intro to Zero Wing in this collection.
They recreated it.
They
Okay.
recreated it for the arcade version, and sort of. Oh, there goes Tom. They sort of modernized it. It's fascinating. I've never seen this before. I didn't know this existed. I've never seen anyone work so hard to keep this meme intact without being offensive or like just remaking it from scratch, and just doing it beat for beat.
Sure.
They gave a reason for everything. Like the normal guys that the pilots on the ship
Mhm.
are talking normal. They modified their script to be fixed. But they get attacked. So the ship starts like falling apart, and there's a shot in the back that says translation error. That's blinking on the screen, and then the enemy cats comes up on the screen, and his dialogue is still exactly the same. It's broken
Oh
English.
wow, love it.
He's still doing the "How are you, gentlemen? So all your base are belong to us," because he's an alien. He wouldn't speak English, and the translator's broken. So,
Oh,
so they like
brilliant.
it's brilliant. I've never seen anything like this. It was very clever. I was blown away. And Zero Wing is after that. Uh, it's a weak shmup, but still a good shmup.
Sure.
It doesn't do anything uh, uh, unique or different. But nothing in this collection does. They're just all
Okay.
solid shooters. So yeah, they're all iconic in their own little ways.
Nice.
Well, some more iconic than others, but you know what? If shmups are your cup of tea, uh,
If shmups are your cups,
yeah, there you go. You could do a lot worse. This
cool.
is very good. It's a very good collection.
Nice.
They're on everything. Like
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, it's not
If
everything.
it's
Yeah.
yeah, I'm playing it on the PS5.
Okay.
So that's nice. You don't get any PS5 features. It'd be funny if they added
Sure.
haptics or something to it. But
Oh, could you imagine? All right.
yeah, but no, I mean, I'm
Oh,
not entirely convinced that $35 a piece is the right price, but they are very good games. And I mean, a lot of these you could Zero Wing, if you bought the Mega Drive port of Zero Wing, a physical version of it, it's very expensive. I
mhm,
got Retrobit put out a re-release on physical hardware in
mhm,
America of Zero Wing, which I bought because it's Zero Wing. And it comes with like an all your base are belong
mm,
to us sticker and a little letter from the developer kind of talking about
mm.
the translation stuff and then like how they feel about it and stuff. But so like yeah, I mean like yeah, at the end of the day, it's probably one of the most from toe to tip satisfying collections like of games you'll ever probably find, because a lot of these collections there's always like five games that are terrible in it. And like you get an Atari collection and it's just like, oh, this game sucks. But no, none of these suck at all. So
All right.
yeah,
Rock and
thumbs up
roll.
for me. Yeah.